What is the role of copyright in structuring film deals? Imagine trying to sell a car without proof you own it. That's what it's like for filmmakers without clear copyright rights. Copyright is the backbone of every film deal. It shows who owns what and who can use it. Without it, a film can't secure funding or reach audiences. When producers want to make a movie, they need to know who owns the script, the music, and the footage. If they don't, they risk legal trouble or losing control of their work. Copyright protects the creative work of everyone involved. The screenwriter owns the copyright to the script unless they sign it away in a written contract. The director's creative choices are protected too. So are the contributions of composers, cinematographers, and other artists. When structuring a film deal, producers must identify who owns each part of the project. They need to get rights from writers, composers, and rights holders before filming starts. The chain of title is a key concept here. It's a series of legal documents proving who owns the rights to a film. If a producer buys an option on a screenplay, they must eventually buy the copyright from the author. They also need a signed agreement transferring all rights to the production company. This process makes sure the company has a clear chain of ownership. If they skip this step, they risk losing distribution rights or facing lawsuits later. Copyright also shapes how rights are divided and monetized. Producers negotiate who owns the copyright to the final film. They decide who controls future works like sequels or spin-offs. They also clarify licensing rights for different platforms and territories. For example, a producer might keep the copyright to the screenplay but transfer the rights to the finished film. These decisions impact the film's value and revenue over time. The financial side of film deals depends heavily on copyright. When a writer sells a screenplay, the price often reflects a percentage of the film's budget, usually between 1 and 3.5% for smaller projects. If the writer keeps certain rights like merchandising or sequel rights, the price might be lower. If the production company gets all rights, including future adaptations, the writer gets paid more upfront. Contracts in film production must clearly state who owns what. They should specify rights to the script, footage, music, and the final cut. They also need to cover future rights like sequels and licensing. Without this clarity, disputes can happen when trying to license the film to streaming services or international markets. Different contracts handle copyright in different ways. A screenplay agreement makes sure the writer owns the script and sets deadlines and fees. A director's contract might include final cut rights but not copyright ownership. Talent agreements cover actors' likeness rights but don't transfer copyright in their performances. Rights purchase agreements are used when adapting third-party works like novels, transferring the necessary copyrights. Copyright protection extends beyond the initial film. It covers subsidiary rights like translations, merchandise, and adaptations. When a publisher grants film rights to a producer, they are licensing specific copyrights for a set time and territory. For example, if a producer wants to adapt a novel into a film, they need to negotiate rights for sequels, television, and merchandise. Each additional right affects ownership and the deal's financial terms. Territorial and time limits are also important. A producer might hold rights only in North America, while another holds rights in Europe. Sometimes, rights are licensed worldwide for a limited period, like 5 or 7 years. After that, rights revert to the original owner. These limits create multiple revenue streams but requiring careful documentation to avoid conflicts. From an entertainment law perspective, copyright turns creative ideas into assets that can be traded. It lets filmmakers control how their work is used and profit from it. Without copyright, they could not secure funding or negotiate fair pay. It also helps distributors and platforms build business models around exclusive rights. Understanding copyright law is essential for structuring film deals. Producers must know who owns what, how to secure rights, and how to divide future revenues. Clear agreements prevent disputes and ensure everyone's interests are protected. Copyright isn't just a legal formality, it's the foundation of the entire film industry.